It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's showtime. Geno Jones, showtime. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you spread the word. Tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. So subscribe, share, screen grab, or rip some of the video, chop it up, make it go viral on whatever platform you got right here on YouTube. Create a short on Threads, on TikTok, on Twitter or X, Instagram, Facebook. It's all good. Whatever you got, hook it up. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like. Binge watch all my back episodes, and please, 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 leave your comments in the comment section. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, 6:30 New York City, Philly, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, North Carolina, Miami, ATL, Atlanta, with 328,000 Georgians voted early. Yesterday, Tuesday, was the first day to early vote in Georgia. Let's see, I believe later this week, Michigan begins early voting. So many states early voting. We're going to get into that more. South Carolina early voting begins next Monday. I am putting out a call to action starting tonight to see, we want to top Georgia's first day early vote turnout of 328,000. I am issuing a call to action for 500,000. 500,000 of us here in the South Carolina. We call it the Palmetto State. Charleston, South Carolina. We got Columbia. We got Greenville. So many cities in between. Aiken. Anyway, I digress. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, binge watch all my back episodes. Leave your comments in the comment section. Spread the word. Tell everybody to check out the show and subscribe and share and watch it. All right, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Hey, if you're in Chicago, we come on at 5:30. All right, Chicago, Houston, New Orleans, Memphis, St. Louis, up in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 5:30 down over there in Des Moines, Cedar, what is it? Iowa, you got Des Moines, is it Cedar Rapids? Whatever. Midwest, 5:30, out on the West Coast, live in Los Angeles, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, San Diego, down all the way down on the southern coast, right there with the Mexico border, or up Seattle, Washington, or Portland, Oregon. Shout out to my firstborn daughter, Lauren Hill Vaughn, my son-in-law, Jonathan in Brooklyn, the Bulldog. Shout out to everybody watching. So I am waiting on my guest. He is a regular contributor to the Geno Jones Show. I know he's busy. I'm not going to have him long because I know he's got a big meeting and a big call coming up at 6 o'clock Chicago time. He's in Chicago right now, 5:30, 6:30, well, 6 o'clock Chicago time, which is 7 o'clock for us on the East Coast. I'm talking about our legal expert, Shawn Mitchell. He's coming back to the show. Legal expert, also professor. He teaches media and I believe politics, Chicago State University. So I'm really looking forward to having him on the show. So let me start off. Happy birthday today, October 16th, U.S. Open tennis champion, women's tennis champion Naomi Osaka. Sister doing her thing. She is 27 today. So if you were a fan of, remember the Steve Harvey TV show that came on the WB back in the day, back in like the 2000s? Wasn't it like late 90s? Yeah, I think it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was on from like 98 to 2000, 2003 or something like that. Anyway, so you had Steve Harvey, you had Cedric the Entertainer, and then Cedric's, his boo thing, his woman, the character's name was Lovita Alizé, Terry Vaughn. She was also on the TBS show Meet the Browns. Terry Vaughn, Miss Terry Vaughn, double nickel today, 55. So happy birthday, Terry Vaughn. Happy birthday to Kim Wayans of the Wayans family. She was on Living Color back in the day. Kim Wayans, 63 today, and a very momentous occasion on this day 29 years ago. October 16th, 1995. Black men from really all across the world, but specifically black men from all across America got together for a day of brotherhood, fellowship, love, networking, unity, and community. Yes, the Million Man March, and we had over 1 million black men in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital there on this day, October 16th in 1995. I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was truly, truly a momentous occasion, and to see it either in person or on TV, it was breathtaking. It was a great day. It was a great day. Every day is a great day to be a black man, if you are a black man. But that day was really, really special. So I want to shout out Minister Farrakhan, and shout out to brother DeAndre Muhammad here. He's with the nation here in Charleston, South Carolina. He is a very dear friend of mine, just a good brother, and all the brothers with the nation here in Charleston, South Carolina, but all across the country. But as a matter of fact, I have a close bond with the brother DeAndre Muhammad and the brothers in the nation here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. All right, so we got that taken care of. All right, listen. I want to clear up some things. I want to set the record straight because there's been a lot. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of distraction. The enemy is busy. As my mother taught me, she said, Jeannie, the enemy seeks to kill, steal, and destroy. Yes, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And my mother's right. And it's just so much, just in terms of trying to not just divide us as Americans, but to pull us as black men and black women, to pull us apart. And even to pit black men against other black men. And just, once again, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. So I want to listen, and look, the corporate media, the big media networks. I said it, I've been saying it, I said it yesterday, I've been saying it for 4 years, especially the last like 2.5, 3 years. You got to understand, like the corporate media, the big media outlets, it is not their job. Now, supposedly, in theory, especially the news media and the big powerful news media outlets, be it newspapers like the New York Times, Chicago Sun-Times, the Tribune, or whatever. Then you got your major networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox is a major network. The news media is something called supposedly the fourth estate. And their job, actually, like if you go to journalism school, they will teach you that it is the news media's job to be like the fourth estate. That means to hold the three branches of government, hold them accountable, and represent the people in terms of informing the public what's really going on in the government, and to hold those in power to speak truth to power, and to hold those in power accountable. Our elected officials, politicians, that's their job. But what you have to understand is that these networks, they are huge, giant corporations. They're big business. And their true mission is not to defend and save democracy. Like I said yesterday, and like I've been saying, the only D that the corporate news media, and really just these major TV and cable networks care about, they don't give a damn about democracy. The only D that they care about is dollars, the dollars. That is the only D they care about. I've said this, I've told this story so many times. Former CBS president, a guy named Les Moonves, they made him step down. Some charges, I guess some people working for him, he got caught up on some charges of like sexual harassment or whatever. So he got like $30 million just to like get out of there. It's like, all right, dude, listen, one or two it got so bad to where they forced him out, but he walked away with like $20, $30 million. So, your job makes you leave because you're facing sexual harassment or worse, allegations and charges and lawsuits. So, well, you got to go. But, here's $20 or $30 million on your way out. Man, don't you wish if you got fired from your job, they would show you that kind of love and pay you that kind of money? Really? But Les Moonves was quoted. He was being interviewed by some news media outlet. And he said, so the question was asked, do you think, because in 2016, Hillary Clinton, who Secretary of State, former First Lady, and Orange Hitler, so Donald J stands for jackass, Donald Jackass Trump. On this show, if you're new to the show, we refer to him affectionately, and I'm being very sarcastic with the affectionately. He is referred to, his name on this show is Orange Hitler. Orange Hitler. So, but Orange Hitler got so much they call earned media. Now, don't ask me why they call it earned media, because he didn't earn anything. Basically, these networks and cable outlets especially gave Orange Hitler so much free airtime because he was entertaining. And someone asked Les Moonves, the former president of CBS Television, head of everything, the entertainment division, the news division. Les Moonves was the head. He was the head honcho, the top banana, the big cheese, running everything over there at CBS TV, CBS Network. And they said, well, all that free airtime that you gave Donald Trump, was that really good for democracy? And Les Moonves, I am paraphrasing the quote, said, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best thing for democracy, but it was great for business. A moment of truth. Former CBS, the head of CBS, who tried to blackball Janet Jackson after what happened in that Super Bowl, I think that was 2004, with Justin Timberlake, who I still don't like and I still don't fool with. Because he threw Janet Jackson under the bus when she had the little, pasty, and he pulled it off and it exposed her breasts. And Les Moonves lost his damn mind, and because Janet didn't come back groveling on her knees, kissing his ass like Justin Timberlake did. So and this is documented. Don't take my word for it. You can Google these facts. As a matter of fact, it came out in somebody's book not too long ago. He was set on trying to basically destroy Janet. He wanted to destroy her career. He wanted to ruin her. So she was blackballed on CBS. Yes, Les Moonves. That dude. The dude that said, well, yeah, we gave Trump all that free airtime. Maybe it wasn't good for democracy because this dude is, but it was great for business. That should tell you everything that you need to know. So why do I bring that up again? Because you have to be very careful. So many different polls out and pollsters. Everybody's pulling a poll out of their behind. Poll is a snapshot. The only poll that matters is those who are voting early, like right now, like yesterday. The first day of early voting in Georgia was yesterday. On Tuesday, 328,000 early votes. Yes. Today they are projecting another 200,000 plus early voters in Georgia. So a lot of states, I believe, North Carolina, you can early vote now. Pennsylvania, in some parts, you can early vote now. Virginia, you can early vote now. Illinois, you've been able to early vote for a while. Michigan, I believe by the end of the week, you'll be able to early vote. So many states early voting has gone on. Mississippi, you can early vote. In Alabama, you can early vote now. Arizona, you can early vote now. So do not wait around. But there's been a lot of talking, and I want to, as a black man, not speaking for every black man, but I've been a black man just about 6 decades on this planet, and it's been a whole lot in the media, because what you have to understand is that the big corporate media companies, once again, what do they care about? What is their goal? Their goal is not to defend democracy, it's to make money. They don't give a damn about democracy. What's the most important D to like these big corporate mainstream media outlets, these big TV and cable networks? What is the most important D? Not democracy, not defending democracy, but making them dollars. So it is in their best interest. And now, because news divisions, the lines between news and entertainment are blurred, news departments don't really go in looking at a situation from a purely journalistic standpoint. There's my dude right there. They go in to look at it as, okay, will it get eyeballs? How many people will tune in? How many people will tune in and stay there? How many on our social media platforms? Because now you can download apps and you can watch on your phone, your smartphone, or your tablet, or your if you got a laptop or your PC. So it's entertaining. The horse race. Oh, they're tied. Oh, the polls are showing that Vice President Kamala Harris and Orange Hitler are tied. These polls are lying to you because, first of all, how many of you all watching me not right now that's black that's ever been polled by anybody? I have never been nearly 6 decades, and I have never, New York Times, Washington Post, Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune. When I lived in LA, the LA Times, Detroit Free Press. I worked in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Here, Charleston, Post and Courier. None of the Atlanta, when I was in Atlanta, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. I have never been polled by anybody. And I can't think of anybody in my family that actually got a call from a pollster. So black people are always going to be undercounted. But let me just say this. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring him on so he can take part in the monologue because I know he's got to run. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a major contributor to the Geno Jones Show. He's been around with me from day one, our legal expert. He's also a professor. He teaches at Chicago State University. Brilliant brother with a brilliant mind. And I appreciate him because I know how backed up he is. And I probably only got him now for about maybe 5, 7, 8 minutes. So let me bring him on, Mr. Shawn Mitchell. What's happening, man?
How you doing, brother? I'm not sure if there was a technical difficulty on my end, but I'm happy to be here. Okay. And I have to come and support you because can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, look, your shot looks great and your audio is great, man. So I'm glad you could make it.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. I know as we get closer to the election, and I was looking at some of your previous shows just to get back in the groove a little bit. And boy, you bringing heat at every rip. We need to get you a scheduled interview with Vice President Harris. I need to write somebody in the White House to see if we can get her on the show.
Well, do that for me. From your lips to God's ears. I've been reaching out to my contacts because I got a chance to do a sit-down interview for my radio station with President Biden. So shout out to Michael Tyler because he's still her communications director, and Julia, who works with Michael Tyler, and Clay Middleton, who was in the Obama administration and the Biden administration, who really
great brother,
a good brother, and really
shout out to Clay. I haven't talked to Clay in so long, but I know he watches your show. So Clay, I got my law degree and everything, brother. Let's make this happen.
Yes. This time last year, he was running for mayor of Charleston, South Carolina. Should have won. I really wish he did. I hope he runs again. But so on the subject of black men, let me just say this, Shawn. because there's been so much talk about it. We talked about it. So what I want everybody to get is all the noise and the chatter. Some folks are mad and said that Barack Obama was wagging his finger at black men and, wagging, well, we need to wag our fingers at white women and white men. Okay, yes, but let's focus on our house, in the house. So, first of all, this narrative that once again, the corporate media companies, now think about it. Why you see so many stories that, oh, well, the black male vote is slipping and Donald Trump is getting a larger share, which is bullshit. But why do you think that they would kind of foster that narrative? Once again, think about this. Let's do a little critical thinking. Their job is not to defend democracy.
Right.
And all of their job is not necessarily truth. You got major cable networks that's 1,000% propaganda and zero truth and facts.
Yeah.
Their job, once again, Les Moonves, former president of CBS, like I said, when they gave Orange Hitler all that free media in 2016. And somebody asked him about that. Well, you think that was bad for democracy? He said, well, maybe it wasn't good for democracy, but it was great for business. They want the horse race. They want the drama. They want the season. Here we are 20 days away, Shawn. They want the season finale. They want everybody anxious and you can't sleep. Sit up all night and watch cable news or watch the news. They want, because that, not to mention all the money. Vice President Kamala Harris raised $1 billion. Orange Hitler is spending hundreds of millions. Think about the hundreds of millions. The networks combined, both campaigns are probably going to spend well over $1 billion, Shawn.
Yeah, that's not counting the PAC money, independent money, and outside funds. And let's not forget that Russia, China, Iran, and the Israelis have been spending money on Facebook to influence the election as well, too. So there's our media landscape has evolved since President Obama ran, and since IQ 45 won back in 2016. The media landscape has evolved. But I do want to point out, yes, we do need to take care of our house. And I didn't take Obama's speech as chastising black men. What I took it as if you're sitting around with, I went to a basketball school, Proviso East. And I can remember freshman, sophomore year playing basketball, and some of us got in a little trouble. And I remember the coach chastising us, just saying, hey, you know better. I took it as Obama saying, hey, brothers, don't let the media paint the narrative. You need to get out here and do what you need to do. But see, I deal in facts because I'm a lawyer, and I like numbers and facts. So I went to Pew Research. You can go to Pew Research. It's fairly accurate. I mean, when they put poll numbers, they're pretty accurate. So I went and I said, well, let me pull up the information, and you can do this yourself. This is you. Everybody listening has access to this information. I pulled up the last 3 elections. And when I say the last 3 elections, I'm talking about the 2018 midterm election, the 2020 presidential election, and 2022's midterm elections. All right. So since we were talking about black folks, in your show gears towards everyone, but the bulk is brothers and sisters watching the show. In 2018, during the midterm, black men supported the Democrats 92% to 6%.
Say that again.
Black women,
say that
92% to 6%.
And that was what, 2018 midterms?
2018 midterm. Black women, 93% went for the Democrats, 5% went to the Republicans. All right, I'm gonna come back to the other demographics, but let's move over to 2020, the presidential election. That's Biden and Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket. Black numbers, black men were 87%, and 12% went over to the Republicans. Now, there's a caveat with that number during a presidential election. Black people need to be honest with themselves and say we do have Black people who are true blue conservatives and who will vote because they're business owners, highly paid people who will vote for a Republican in protecting their finances or the illusion of protecting their finances and not paying taxes. And so I have conservatives in my family, and I know that they tend to vote Republican the majority of the time. Outside of President Obama, they voted Republican pretty solidly. A few of them voted for Trump the first time, second time they didn't. Few of them stuck with Trump. And a few of them are probably going to vote for Trump this time. But women in that same election were 95% Black women to 5% that voted for Republicans. Let's talk about 2022. Same numbers as 2018.
Real quick, go back to 2020. Give us it was 87%
Black men and 12% went for the Republicans.
Right. So nearly 90% of Black men, almost 9 in 10 Black men voted for
voted for Biden
and
the Democratic ticket. 95% of Black women got President Biden the nomination.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And so, he has the Democratic Party has Black women as their main base. That's like their base constituency. And so we can be honest about that. And that's been happening since Shirley Chisholm, since Fannie Lou Hamer.
Right there in Chicago, where you are, Carol Moseley Braun.
Carol Moseley
first
Braun.
Senator.
Yeah, and throughout Chicago, even Lori Lightfoot is a Democrat. And you go across the country, the Black women that are mayors of major cities, all Democrats. And so, again, and we're probably going to wind up with 2 additional Black women in the Senate. We have a Black woman running for Senate in Maryland, and she's pulling away from the former governor.
Hogan.
And
it starts with an A. I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Yeah, that's why I won't. I totally, and forgive me, audience. I'll have it tomorrow. The sister, she's just really. I've seen her do interviews on TV. Very impressive. Brilliant. Very, very impressive. And then, if I remember correctly, there's a Black woman running for Senate in Florida. If I remember correctly, don't quote me on that.
No. She's a Hispanic, a Cuban.
Okay.
Yes.
Beautiful lady.
Powell. Yes. she's running up against Rick Scott.
Yeah. And
so a woman of color. So you have 2 women of color.
She looks kind of Afro-Cuban.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that she doesn't look like But to make a long story short, those numbers that we're talking about in 2022 were replicated from 2018. The same Black men went up 1 percentage point, where 93% of them voted for the Democrats. 93% of Black women voted for the Democrats, with 5% of Black men and Black women voting for the Republicans. Now let's talk about the other numbers, because I'm not chastising President Obama for what he said, because that was the in-house speech to motivate the brothers and sisters to go vote. My problem is the media painting the narrative that Black men are against her. And then there's those who are, what's the best way to put it? People like Eddie Griffin and some of these Negroes, these ninjas out here, who are no talent, worthless, misogynists. And they're,
and
credit to D.L. Hughley for correcting.
Jump in there, because I know I'm short on time with you, but I want to jump in on this misogyny point. Let me just say this, because I was getting there. First of all, misogyny and sexism is global. So Black men don't have a patent on misogyny and sexism.
Right.
We didn't invent this ish.
Right.
However, it is up to us as Black men, if we say that we truly love our Black women, it's up to us to call it out, even if it's, and the vast majority, Shawn gave you the numbers in terms of voting. So the vast majority of Black men are not misogynists or sexist. However, there is an element of black men, just like it is of white men, Asian men, Hispanic men, that are
Hmm.
misogynistic and sexist. And
Hmm.
we have an obligation, Shawn, to call it out.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, and I don't turn from that at all. But the other point where I'm going after the media is that two groups are the keys to Trump winning. And well, actually, I'm gonna add a third group to it. Uh, White men, white women, and Hispanic men.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about their numbers because nobody talks about their numbers. You know, in 2018, during the midterm, white men 43% for the Democrats, 55% went to the Republicans. White women, hats off to them, 50% for the Democrats, 48% for the Republicans. When we go over to 2020, the presidential election, white women tend to step back and fall in line. Now, I don't know what happens in their household. I don't know whether the husband is controlling. I don't know. But what I do know is that 45% of white women voted for the Democrat and 53% of them voted for the Republican. Now,
Say that.
that is a demographic that I don't hear, and this is, I'm not dogging the View, I'm not disrespecting the View, but that's their base audience. I don't hear them saying, white women, where are you? Why aren't you voting for Kamala Harris? All
Yeah,
right.
you don't see and hear that narrative in the media, and
Right.
that's important because many folks I've called out white women, but now what I'm seeing, Shawn, is that white women, after what happened, after what the Supreme Court did, struck down Roe versus Wade, that allowed all these, especially southern states, to put
Mm-hmm.
these abortion bans, 6-week abortion bans, and now
Mm-hmm.
white women are dying from miscarriages because they can't
Mm-hmm.
terminate the pregnancy, just like black women are. So now
Mm-hmm.
these white women realize that their this whiteness, which is made up, their skin color, the
Mm-hmm.
privilege that they had, it didn't
Mm-hmm.
protect them from the misogyny and sexism from the men, from their own men.
And they should be upset about affirmative action because that's the group that benefited the most from
Yes,
affirmative action
that part.
is white women. And so they should be upset about that. But not only that, see, the GOP has figured out something else to appease white women to the abortion issue. What they've been doing is putting it on the ballot. What does that mean? I can vote my state to keep abortion legal and still vote for the Republican that's running for president. See, we don't watch the overplay for the underplay, you know? Because again, if you're getting some white women to move off that GOP thing, it would be for their women's rights. But if you are in a state that's putting abortion on the ballot and abortion is your concern, then you vote to protect it in your state and you continue to put IQ 45 and these no good Republicans in office. Well, I shouldn't say no good Republicans.
Well, let's say this, Shawn.
The MAGA Republicans.
Right, I was gonna say,
there's a distinct difference
let-
between the two.
Let's be honest. There is, as of today, right now, watching this show, there is no longer a Republican Party. There's a cult. Why do you think there's so many Republicans for Kamala Harris? Because they don't have a party. Their party was taken over by a cult.
And I miss the days back in the 2000s, growing up. My grandfather had a third grade education, but he was a union guy for GM. My uncle from Chicago, West Side, smart member of fraternity, one of the reasons why I'm an Alpha, educated, Vietnam Air Force pilot, worked for Reagan in the Pentagon. So you know where I'm going. He's conservative. I used to watch my grandfather with the third grade education and my uncle with an Annapolis education debate conservative and democratic and progressive policies. Okay, we no longer have that. You know, we don't have adults having the conversation right now. Earlier today, I was talking to a friend because I have a few friends that are still MAGAs because I lived in South Carolina for a long time, as this audience knows. And I have some white friends that I'm still close to. We don't talk politics much, but I was talking, checking in, like, hey, is everything okay? I know you live up in the mountains in North Carolina. And he's like, oh yeah, the FEMA people are not are trying to steal from us and everything. Oh, whoa. The problem right now, what we have is because of Trump, and Trump is a result of the symptom of corporate media like Fox, who since the 90s has been force feeding people lies and opinion, and people have been taking them in as news. As wonderful as the internet is, and I love the way it is, and I wouldn't say government needs to regulate the information because I'm all about free speech. But see, here's where free speech has its flaws. If you're not intelligent enough to do your own research, that's why every time I talk to people and I'm on your show or any other show, I say, you can go look it up for yourself. I'm not just making this up. That's what it is. A lot of people are low information and may not have an education beyond high school, which usually means you should know how to research stuff if you have a high school diploma. But I know all states aren't equal. If you're in some place like Texas, you may not be able to. Or if you're in some place like Alabama, your high school diploma isn't the equivalent to me and yours because we grew up in Illinois where, bam, it needs even CPS.
I'm sure even in Alabama, in them states, they had to do a term paper and go to the library and research and write a damn term paper. Come on.
And no sources. But
and wait, okay. Now, Shawn, you don't have to. Here's your research, but see, they go to the wrong source.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is your World Book Encyclopedia now.
But there's so much misinformation in that device that if you don't know how to filter through it, you get caught up in all the information, which brings me back to my original point. White folks, Hispanic men, Hispanic women, what are you waiting for? What are you doing? And this is the last thing before I go to this board meeting. I watched snippets of IQ 45 do 39 minutes of dancing, all kinds of stuff during a rally. And I'm just letting you know, if Barack Hussein Obama, President Obama, had stood up there during any kind of rally or interview, playing music and dancing and not asking questions, it would have been an uproar. If VP Harris, the future president of the United States, had stood up there and did that, it would be hell to raise.
Hell, if Joe Biden did that, he was just with a cold and slow in a debate, and we forced him off the ticket. Can you imagine if he'd had a town hall that he ended the questions and just said, put on my Spotify playlist for 40 minutes?
And my final thing before I leave is, where is the media with the accountability on Trump's mental stability, his age? He is the oldest person that is running for president right now. And why isn't there any accountability? I'm going to say to your audience, we need all hands on deck. We need to get the GOTV, that's get out the vote, and help out. When you go vote, take 2, take 4, take your kids, take your grandkids. I'm on the phone with my kids in other states, holding them accountable, making sure they're going to vote. Making sure, because now we're in the election. Yes, election day is on the 5th of November, but early voting has started in almost, I think it's something like 60% of the country is early voting already.
Including right there in Illinois, where my mother early voted about 2 weeks ago. Already got
I can go early vote, but I'm going to wait until it's down the street from my house at my polling place, because I just don't want to drive to the county office and stand in that line. But it will get done because, like I said, we're in the midst of the election. People, the choice is obvious. Whether you know anything about Kamala Harris or not, you know about him. You know what he is. And if you like that, then okay, good luck with that. My final statement is there's going to be some accountability for some people, no matter what happens with this. And what do I mean? These people who, Eddie Griffin, that wants to make money off Black people, but he's disrespectful to the first female Black vice president of the United States. There needs to be some accountability to that. And we as a community, I don't care what white folks do about it. I'm talking about we as a community, we need to start holding these individuals accountable. You know, we can't point our finger at what different people in other communities do if we're not going to hold our people in our community to the same standard. And understand that there are lowlifes in our community, like Eddie Griffin. Look him up, find out about Eddie Griffin, and you'll see what kind of lowlife he is. And we need to start calling it out. Normally, I wouldn't say anything, but he made some very disrespectful statements. I don't know whether it's comedy or he has fever brain. He's not a very intelligent person. I never thought that. And some of his movies borderline on, you know, like Undercover Brother. What was that? Now, I'm mature now. I can look at that and go, he plays into the stereotype. So he's made money off the stereotyping of Black people. And he's making more money off having a podcast. So stop watching that shit, people. Watch this podcast. Somebody is going to give you some information, educate you, make you a better person in the community. People like Eddie Griffin, they'll soon be forgotten when he gets done paying whoever he owes child support, alimony, or whatever he has going on.
And
but that's all.
On your way out the door,
yeah.
let me just speak to all those, especially those in our culture and community who you may be doing well financially, and you may think, but this doesn't just apply to Black folks. This applies to the majority of white people, because the majority of white people are not billionaires, and no one only gives a damn about the millionaires. Those big tax cuts went to big corporations and billionaires. Even if you making $500,000, you ain't really see no tax cut like they are getting, because they don't give a damn about you. But if you think your money will protect you from Project 2025 and the oppression that they already have printed in writing, you are sadly mistaken. You don't understand history. Talk to some of the ancestors of the European Jews that were in Germany 90 years ago. And
you read my mind.
Ask them how that money saved them. Ask them about Crystal Knot. Google that. The Night of Broken Glass is called Crystal Knot.
It didn't save them. In fact, they took their money.
Yes.
And gold
all of their wealth,
their mouth. They took everything. So your money will not save you.
You name it. All the wealth they had, they took it all.
Yeah, they will not. But the beautiful thing about Germany is they remember, they honor the people from the Holocaust, to put it front of mind. And before I leave, when my mother was stationed in Germany, I used to see they had the high school kids go around. In Germany, there's these bricks in front of places where Jewish families who were killed lives. There's like little bricks with their name and everything on it. And the German high schoolers, part of your public service is to go around cleaning those on a regular basis.
Really? Wow.
Yes. So, I mean, that was a terrible thing, but it seems like Germany was able to move ahead. I know geopolitically, that's a whole nother story. That's a 2-hour show for another time about what's going on in the Middle East.
It's coming back, but it's here.
But it is.
It's here.
Well, the corporations have laid the groundwork for fascism because they've been operating that way since Reagan was president, where we gave our authority over to the corporate masters. The corporations make all the decisions. We don't, and that's simply how our laws are structured, which is whole nother discussion, which brings us back to the main point. You need to exercise your right to vote, grab other people and take them to the polls to vote, and you continue to advocate, whether it's at church, work, publicly, for Vice President Harris and the Harris-Walz ticket, because we cannot go back. We're not going back.
And if you want reparations, you'll never see reparations if you don't vote, because the only way to get reparations in America is an act of Congress. So not only do you have to vote for the president, but you got to make sure the president has senators in the U.S. Senate and members of the U.S. House of Representatives that will support reparations. So y'all got to understand how this game is played.
Right.
So you cannot vote and be mad about Gaza if you want to, because trust me, Orange Hitler has already told the Jewish version of Orange Hitler, Netanyahu, Trump has already told him, if I'm president, I'm going to tell him, finish the job.
Right. That's exactly right. So think about that. Hey, Geno,
Shawn,
it's always
you got to
great.
run. I love you, man.
I gotta run.
Listen, we're going to have you on a regular. We'll touch bases tonight or tomorrow, because I got something special going on Monday, a call to action. I talked about it earlier. I'm going to talk about it Friday, but I'll hit you up a little later. I know you got to run. Thank you. And my apologies to the rest of your board members. It's on me, y'all.
Well, I'm going to just drop, I'm going to name drop a board member I work with, everybody. Miss Jill Winebanks is on the board that I work on. So,
she's got her pen on. I don't know what pen she's going to have on today.
I'll tell you next week when I talk to you what pen she had on.
Miss Winebanks, don't find me. It's my fault. I'm the reason he's late, but that's my brother. I love him. My mother, y'all the mothers told me to tell you hi and congratulations.
Hi, Miss Jones.
She's so happy you back on. I told her you were coming back. She was so happy. But she know you've been taking care of
business. Kiss on the cheek to Mama Jones.
All right, man. Thanks.
See you later.
See you later. All right. That is family right there. He is a brilliant brother. I love having him on. We have great conversations, as you all can see. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Go to Geno Jones Show on YouTube. You're watching me right now, but tell everybody, just go to YouTube, type in Geno Jones Show, subscribe to the channel, spread the word, tell everybody to subscribe to the channel, share the episodes, this and every episode, subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of this conversation Shawn Mitchell and I had. Let's make it go viral. Subscribe, share, screen grab, or rip the video. Like, binge watch, like this and every episode. Leave your comments in the comment section for this and every episode, and binge watch all my back episodes and like those also. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. The brand new salon, Designer Cuts, official sponsor of the Geno Jones Show. They'll be celebrating in November, I believe, like the first weekend in November. They'll be celebrating their 1 year anniversary. So Designer Cuts is about to turn 1 year old. So congratulations to Markel Bailey. Check him out. He is the master barber's master barber. Check him out on Instagram, on IG, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check out Allie Jones and her Lexi Jones collection on Instagram, on IG, LX.NCL_. You see some designs you like? Maybe you would like for Allie to recreate one of her creations, one of her designs. Leave her a message on Instagram. DM her, L like Lexi, X like extra, .N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi _. On Instagram. Bruce Gage, check him out. The Mario Uomo collection. That's an Italian surname. Mario Uomo. It's got the W sound, but it's UOMO. So go to Instagram, IG. Bruce Gage is also official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. Check out the Mario Uomo collection, MARIOUOMO, on Instagram. And Flyball, the Flyball collection also. Just go to Instagram, type in Bruce Gage, or type in Mario Uomo, MARIOUOMO, or type in Flyball or Flyball the store. All right, so these really beautiful sweater. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Everybody, thank you for watching. My mother, Mary Dixon. I love you. I'll talk with you later. Thank you for the conversation. Everybody, when you're watching, please feel free to join the conversation in my live chat room when I'm on camera, or you can start a conversation. If you got a question or comment you want to argue with me, Damaris will tell you, good luck with that. you want to, if he's the one, trust me, you want to have that kind of conversation, you want to have a debate, all right, then he's the one. So feel free. Just bring it on. But bring the facts and the receipts, all right? Because we don't come with propaganda. I come with strong opinions with receipts, like Shawn Mitchell did. He had them receipts for you, okay? So, white women, are you going to vote against your own reproductive freedom that you've lost? White men, are you really going to vote against your own economic interest? Really? Thank you for watching, everybody. The next live edition is going to be Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles. All right. If you missed any of this episode, go back and binge watch this and every episode. And don't forget, tell everybody to subscribe to my channel. Share this and every episode, screen grab, copy and paste the link and paste it in an email, in a text message. Share the show. You can tag everybody you know, tag their page with the show, however you want to do it. Subscribe, share, screen grab, like, leave your comments in the comment section, and binge watch all my back episodes. We'll see you Thursday live, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, Thursday afternoon.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.